Okay, hello everybody. It's Friday, and today we'll be wrapping up the temple side of it, and then we'll be going into the priest rooms and then different things people will be doing. And so, right now, we're just kind of going over the measurements, and on 42 is a really interesting one. 41 is interesting too. I can tell you a little bit about it because I was shown it, so I can kind of give you a little bit more. Hi Kim. Hi everybody who is here. And so like over the weekend, just go over the dimensions, go over all the things that we went over, and so you can have a better idea when we start getting into where people will be coming in, and it makes it more real. Yeah, you can kind of envision it. I've actually gone over to like Google Images and stuff and looked at all like the remakes of what people think that it looks like, and yeah, there's some pretty good ones in there. The only thing that Ezekiel does not have, and I've been researching it, is Solomon had this. Um, it was the kind of like a room of pillars, and Ezekiel doesn't have this, but I know it is there. Where it sits, I would think it would sit close to in the inner court, around the altar, or someplace like that. But there will be like two different places of tending to God. We'll have one for those who are, you know, for the sacrifices itself and for the people, and then for the Zadok, the 7,000. So I am definitely praying about this and trying to get a better understanding. But we have time, guys. We're not in a big old hurry. Just let this all absorb and we're good. Okay, I'm going to start. So, chapter 41, verse 1. Afterward, he brought me to the temple and measured the post 6 cubits broad on the one side and 6 cubits broad on the other side, which was the breadth of the tabernacle. And if you go in to the diagram, you can see right in there, that is on the appendix 88. That's what I have it on mine. So I hope that is for you too. And that was also in my Bible. So hi JD, hi Mind for Knowledge. So yeah, there's some places in Psalms and things like that go into this house of pillars. So I'm going to be going over that this week and like really searching and see what I can find. Anyway, it is exciting. And I don't know why Ezekiel didn't include it. Solomon's did, so you'll go. Okay, verse 2. And the breadth of the door, which is the entrance, was 10 cubits, and the sides, which are the shoulders of the door, were 5 cubits on one side and 5 cubits on the other side. And he measured the length thereof 40 cubits, and the breadth 20 cubits. So it's pretty wide there. Then he went inward and measured the post of the door 2 cubits, and the door 6 cubits, and the breadth of the door 7 cubits. So if we went into like numbers and things like that, I'm sure that has a lot of meaning, and we haven't really gone over that yet, but we should at some time and just kind of see what we can gather out there, because every word, every number, everything in the Bible has meaning. That's why it's ever growing. because you can't get all of this at once. I mean, you really got to keep going into it. Okay, verse 4. So he measured the length thereof. All right, this is the Holy of Holies. So he measured the length thereof 20 cubits, and the breadth 20 cubits before the temple. And he said unto me, This is the most holy place. So it's like a big box, all equal length and size. And he measured the wall of the house 6 cubits, and the breadth of every side chamber 4 cubits about round about the house on every side. And the side chambers were 3, one over another, and 30 in order. And they entered into the wall which was of the house for the side chambers round about, that they might have hold, but they had not hold in the wall of the house. So it sounds like it's like part of the house, but not completely. I know that sounds weird. What I saw, like with the walking in and the porch, it was part of the, like, the Holy of Holies, but it was separated by these big doors, and there was one side to it. The right side had like the sacrificial type of like those big wooden tables with the slab, and then over to the left was like a place for sitting and reading books, and there was tables there and things like that. So this is really interesting. And there was an enlarging, or a broadening, and a winding about still upward to the side chambers, for the winding about of the house went still upward round about the house. Therefore the breadth of the house was still upward. So that same that new area was going upward. And I told you about the stairs, and they wind up. There's the first floor. This is after the porch, and you get into the sanctuary area, and on this sides, every side, there is like a closet. So in here they have chambers that have separate meanings. So the ones that are down below on the floor level are the closets. So just keep that in mind when we come to the chamber part. Okay, so the breadth of the house was still upward, and so increased from the lower chamber to the highest by the midst. So it just went up in levels. I saw also the height of the house round about the foundations of the side chambers were a full reed of 6 great cubits. The thickness of the wall was which was for the side chamber without, outside, was 5 cubits, and that which was left was the place of the side chambers that were within. These walls are really, really thick. I mean, these buildings are made of stone, white stone. I mean, they're beautiful, but they are very solid. And between the chambers was the wideness of 20 cubits about the house on every side. So this one is lishke, which means the closets. So all these closets are for, everything that you would use to do the sacrifice. And you have the bonnets, you have your linens, everything that you need to use. Okay, where was I? Was I on 10? And between the chambers was, wideness of 20 cubits round about the house on every side. And the doors of the sideways were toward the place that was left. one door toward the north and another toward the south, and the breadth of the place that was left was 5 cubits round about. So so even down below on the first, so you have the left side and you have the right side, and you look across and there is a closet, same, equal. It's, you know, for one, here's another on this side. So they all have, they're all equal. And as we read along here, even the chambers upstairs where this dock go, you see one on this side and then you'll see the next on the other side, but they all face each other. Now the building that was before the separate place at the end toward the west was 70 cubits broad, and the wall of the building was 5 cubits thick, round about, and the length thereof of 90 cubits. So it's big, real big. Let's see. Yeah. So he measured the house 100 cubits long, and the separate place and the building with the walls thereof 100 cubits long. So it's a very big building, very sturdy. It's right in the middle. So yeah, as the breadth of the face of the house and of the separate place toward the east, 100 cubits. Okay, and he measured the length of the building over against the separate place which was behind it. And this is the temple again. And the galleries, which is thought of to be the balconies, thereof on one side and on the other side, 100 cubits, with the inner temple and the porches of the court. So what I had seen is when you walk up, there is an area where you walk. It's pretty wide, and I think those are the porches. I didn't see porches on the outside, but there are the big arched windows that allows the breeze to come in, and everyone, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure about this, about every Zadok having their own chamber. I don't think there's enough of them, so maybe we share them. I don't know, but maybe the angel that was telling me was saying, well, this is where you're assigned to go. Okay. The galleries thereof on the one side and on the other 100 cubits, with the inner temple and the porches of the court. So here's the most holy place from 16 all the way to 26, and it's just describing inside what it looks like. Hi Roxanne, hi Daniel. Yeah, everybody's coming in. All right, here we go with verse 16. The doorpost and the narrow windows and the galleries or porches round about on their 3 stories over against the door, circled with wood round about, and from the ground up to the windows, and the windows were covered. So the wood in the porch area, there's all that area, it has wood, really, really nice wood, and you have windows, high windows that you can see, and that lets the light in. And also in that area you have like bookshelves for, you know, the very elect to read. I don't know what's really in those books, but we'll be always learning too. Let's see. Hi, Eagles. All right. To that above the door, even unto the inner house, and without, and by all the wall round about within and without by measure. And this is just showing that every detail, however small it is, is very important. Um, if you get a vision or something like that, a similitude showed to you, everything that you are shown has meaning. So just keep that in mind if you start getting that, and write them down, and you gotta like pick them apart unless the angel tells you what it means. And it was made with cherubims. Let's see. Yeah, and it was made with cherubims and palm trees, so that a palm tree was between a cherub and a cherub. So there's a cherub here, palm tree, cherub there. And every cherub had two faces. So it's like one is going this way and one is looking that way. So that the face of a man was toward the palm tree on one side, and the face of a young lion toward the palm tree on the other side. It was made through all the house round about. Now, one of the Zoe is a lion. This could also mean Christ from the Lion of Judah. From the ground unto above the door were cherubims and palm trees made, and on the wall of the temple. The posts of the temple were squared, and the face of the sanctuary, the appearance of one as the appearance of the other. So they're exactly the same. The altar of wood was 3 cubits high. So this is for the altar. And the length thereof was 2 cubits, and the corners thereof, and the length thereof, and the walls thereof were of wood. That really nice wood I was telling you about. And he said unto me, this is the table that is before the Lord. See if they have anything about this. Oh. All right, 23. And the temple and the sanctuary had 2 doors. And the doors had 2 leaves, a piece, so one door. And they're big, heavy doors. 2 turning leaves, 2 leaves for the one door, and 2 leaves for the other door. So when the 7,000 go in there, those doors are shut. And we wait for a little bit as everybody settles in and gets in, and then the Shekinah glory, the God himself, that Shekinah glory light, lights up, just comes from underneath on the floor and out. And it feels so good to just be, it feels like you're bathed in it. Let's see. I'm glad you like this. I feel like I wish I just had more knowledge so I could explain things more. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody saying hi. Okay. And there were made of them on the doors of the temple, so this is like carved in, cherubims and palm trees, like they were made upon the walls, so the wooden walls I was telling you about. And there were thick planks upon the face of the porch without, so very heavy wood, thick. And there were narrow windows and palm trees on one side, and on the other side, on the sides of the porch and upon the side chambers of the house, and thick planks. So it's just kind of going over, summing it up. So it will be very interesting to be in there. And I think I know what the ceiling of the 7,000 are now. I was going into Ezekiel chapter 8. And that just talks about God wanting to get rid of all this false religion. and he appointed 7 men. And a lot of people think that these 7 men were like angels, but they were 7. This is corresponding with the 7,000 very elect who are going to be basically doing the same thing. I'm going to take you back to when I first came down and I was in paradise speaking to God, the angels, Yeshua. I had to come down to witness the end times. And the angel and I, Lurch, he said, it is time for you to go talk to him. You know, I'll wait for you. And I said, okay. So I walked over to him. He was standing under the lilac tree in the front yard. And I said, here I am. And he said, okay. And he got out some oil. And I just found this out today. So I'm like, wow, that's just how it goes. But anyway, he puts a cross on my forehead with this oil from right to left. And I really didn't understand that. But with these 7 that were given the instructions to weed out the people that believed, that wanted to hear God's word, they were marked, and the ones that didn't, they were just basically spiritually dead, like what's going to happen in the millennium. So that T going into the ancient manuscript, not the new Hebrew that comes from Syria. This is the old manuscripts. The T is Tavav, but it is the symbol of the cross, T. And these people were they were marked with that, sealed to go do this specific thing, and they did supernatural acts. So I believe that I was sealed at that time, and you could have been sealed, but I think we were sealed at a very early age. And maybe you'll even see your own sealing when it happens, like you're ready. But I wasn't ready at that time. I still had like a bunch to learn and stuff like that. But he already knows who the 7,000 very elect are. So he's watching them. His hand has always been in their life, no matter what. Protecting, leading, guiding. So that was just something that, you know, it was kind of a new discovery that I thought was pretty good. I mean, it's hard to go over, you know, when we're not really reading the chapter right now, but I just thought I'd mention that. Because the sealing, I mean, it is kind of it's like, what is it, you know, type thing. How will we know if we're sealed? How long did your experience last? Oh, hours. It was an all-night thing, and God was actually going to erase my memories from in heaven itself. And I was like, no, you can't take my hope away. You can't do that. So he left me with some little bit, my walk in the garden and my talk with Yeshua and my own judgment per se, because I had basically killed myself. But see, he is very understanding. And you know what? What I saw was, if I had not gone up, that changed my spirit. I probably would be dead because of the influences and things like that that I had in my life. I mean, all my family, all my brothers and sisters, the original ones, are dead. So I would have ended up like them. Oh yeah, sealed in the first earth age, definitely. we were handpicked. We were, you know, this is like our thing, you know. He knows that we're going to, you know, do what we're told. We already have our purpose. It's just like anybody, you have to first be taught. Even though I went up and saw everything, I had to be taught. So we all have to do our part. Let's see. Priya, you are with us. Pray. Oh. I could go ahead. I could go ahead and do the next chapter. How far did we get? That was a short chapter. But the next one is the priest room. And it talks more about these chambers and the chamber that we leave our clothes in, that we have worn in the sanctuary, and we put on other clothes. Let's see. We somehow go to the other side to see family for 7 days. They have become clean again, and then bring the sin offering to see family for 7 days. They have become clean, and then bring that sin offer back to the temple. Yeah, they have to be cleansed. So what I saw with my sister when she came out, she went to this judgment sort of thing, and then later I saw her, and Christ was doing something with her, and she looked like she was spanked, you know, like she realized all the things that she had done, and she was very solemn and serious after that. She was definitely a changed person. Arnold Murray was saying, bring that back to the altar. Let's see, he was saying, bring that back to the altar. Yeah, we have our 7 days that we have to be cleansed if we go out into, you know, the Gulf area. So what we're doing at that time, I saw that we couldn't really enter into the gate or anything. We had to stay outside. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more, you know, as we go through here and pick it apart. And it might be somewhere in Psalms or anything like that. Psalms has a lot of prophecy in it. Bring that back to the altar, the sin offer. So what you're saying, Mind for Knowledge, is that we bring like our family member's sin back to the altar, and then we're there. I don't know. I'll wait for your reply, because I don't understand that. Saying bring that back to the altar. I'm gonna read that again. Come on. We, 7,000, go to the other side to see family for 7 days, then have become clean again. And then, so after we become clean again, after the 7 days of cleansing, and then bring that sin offer back to the temple. That makes sense. Yeah. I just saw a comment disappear. Yeah, because we can help them. Let's see. Oh, in Ezekiel 44, 9, 16. Oh, good. Good. Get all that squared away then, because the Bible has all the answers in it, no matter what. And if it's not in there, then it's more than likely not there. Just saying. So that's how you test everything too. If you come up against some doctrine that you don't understand, just check it out, you know. Just, you know, check it out. Let's see. Has the elect and the Zadok. Oh yeah, we're gonna go over that. Those are like my favorite chapters when we get in 144 of the Zadok. The 144 and the Zadok are different. Do the next chapter. You want me to do the next chapter now? Um, let's see how. Kind of been talking for a while. Um, these priests. This is the priest rooms, and I haven't really. They have the holy chambers in here. Well, I can go over it. We'll go on 42. So, verse 1, then he brought me forth into the outer court, the way towards the north, and that's where, you know, the offerings come in. And he brought me into the chamber that was over against the separate place, and which was before the building toward the north. Okay. Before the length of 100 cubits was the north door, and the breadth was 50 cubits. Over against the 20 cubits, which were for the inner court, and over against the pavement, which is basically, it's just stone, but smooth, which was for the outer court, the outside court, was gallery, which the gallery is like porches against gallery in 3 stories. And before the chambers was a walk of 10 cubits breadth inward, so inside, a way of 1 cubit, and the doors towards the north. Okay, printed. If you guys want to check that out, just kind of do a pause. Okay. Now the upper chambers were shorter, for the galleries were higher than those below, than the lower, and then the middlemost of the building, for they were in 3 stories, but had not pillars as the pillars of the courts. Therefore the building was straightened more than the lowest, and so it's like wider, and then as it goes up, as it goes to the next story, it goes up. And the middlemost from the ground, and the wall that was without, over against the chambers towards the outer court on the forepart of the chambers, the length thereof was 50 cubits. Okay, so yeah, it was wider than the ones going up. For the length of the chambers that were in the outer court was 50 cubits, and lo, before the temple were 100 cubits. So, all right. And from under these chambers was the entry on the east side, as one goeth into them from the outer court. So the east is where Christ is. The chambers were in this thickness of the wall of the court toward the east, against the separate place, and over against the building. And the way before them was like the appearance of the chambers, which were toward the north, as long as they, and as broad as they, same dimension. And all goings out were both according to their fashion, and according to their doors. All right. And according to the doors of the chamber that were toward the south, was a door in the headway, even the way directly before the wall towards the east, as one entered into it. So it sounds like it's catty corner. And then said he unto me, the north chambers and south chambers, which are Well, I guess it would be more like facing each other again. The north chambers and the south chambers, which are before the separate place, they be holy chambers, where the priests that approach unto the Lord shall eat the most holy things. There shall they lay the most holy things, the meat offerings, and the sin offering, and the trespass offering, for the holy place is holy. When the priests enter therein, then shall they not go out of the holy place into the outer court, but they shall lay their garments wherein they minister, for they are holy, and shall put on other garments, and shall approach to those things which are for the people. So these are the ones that you wear in the inner court, are the clothes literally woven by your righteous acts and their purity. And so you don't, wear that out to the people. I mean, it's kind of a special thing. Now, when he had made an end of measuring the inner house, he brought me forth toward the gate, whose prospect is toward the east, and measured it round about. He measured the east side with the measuring reed, 500 reeds with the measuring reed round about. Okay. He measured the north side, 500 reeds with the measuring reed round about. He measured the south side, 500 reeds with the measuring reed. He turned about to the west side and measured 500 reeds with the measuring reed. So it's 500, 500, perfect measurements all around. He measured it by the four sides. It had a wall round about 500 reeds long and 500 broad, to make a separation between the sanctuary and the profane place. So that's it. That's the place where, where you as a Zadok will be going, changing your clothes, and we'll go into the clothes and stuff. I'll try to find something the closest to what I saw, because I noticed that there's like different things that like the Levitical priest wore, back in the olden days, and like what the priests will be wearing during the millennium. I mean, I didn't see like a lot of colors, but I'm sure that, there'll be different colors going out into the outer court and stuff like that. Let's see. Keep taking off my glasses and I shouldn't be. Hi, Stacy. Let's see. So we don't wear our white robes when we go out to the people. No. It's all one white robe, and it goes all the way down to your feet, and you don't have shoes on either. So it looks like one flowing gown. And when I saw people walk coming into there, it looked like they were floating. It was so weird, but really cool. And then you have these bonnets that you put on. Looks kind of like a Chef Boyardee hat, kind of fluffy here, and a band around. And there we wait for the Shekinah glory. So I'm always barefoot too, Eagle. I don't know, but today it got kind of chilly. I had someone here fixing something I hate. Oh, yeah, you can always go back. Yeah, we wear other robes and other clothes outside. When we go outside, the clothes are different. It isn't all one cloth. It's linen. It's like you have a top, and then you have like these pants, and then you wear like this thing. It's like a plate, and it has all the 10 or the 12 stones on it. And it's really heavy. And then you have like this hat, and it's very hard to explain, but I'll show you pictures and stuff when we get to there. But that's where we go out and meet the people. When we're teaching, we're in it like another gown. So for different events and things like that, we have different clothes. Yeah, it'll go into it as we get more into it, you know. It is, you'll love it though. It is really interesting. We wear other, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, you just have like all the righteous acts. That robe is just inside for God, for you, for everybody to enjoy, because they are beautiful, beautiful. And the other ones, I mean, they're all nice clothes. They're just, you know, different for different events. Yeah. When we're teaching, we have like a white robe on too. But that definitely is a different one than what you're wearing in the Holy of Holies. And some people ask me about, do we wear jewelry and stuff? I just saw that plate, but I don't know. Let's see. Remember in a dream being knelt down in front of a crescent pool of water, looked up and saw the Lord's feet above. Keeps. I was wearing a white robe. That is so awesome, Mary. So, the ephod, yeah. So, there's, you know, there's just no jewelry and makeup. No. I don't think we wear jewelry. Definitely not makeup. You don't need it. I won't anyway. I won't look all pale and pasty. Yeah. So we really do, you know, God allowed me to keep these, what I saw up there for hope and what we all have waiting for us. So, you know, he definitely wants us to know that, hey, stick with it. You know, every time you study, you know, you're getting more knowledge, and you'll do a lot better, you know. Plus, you know, being a 7,000, you should really be studying and, you know, getting all the knowledge that you can. No hat, my hair was long and tied back. Yeah, that could have been, you know, you're out, you know, there's a place that goes underneath the altar, and we'll read about that. But the water itself from that comes down into a pool of water, and then it goes down into the rushing area, and there's a type of garden there. So maybe you were in there, you walked down there. I really didn't see shoes during the millennium. I think we'll all be barefoot, but then again, we're all in spiritual bodies, and I don't think we'll have pain like we do here, you know. It's like step on a rock, ouch, you know. We were washing something in the water. Wow. No hat, my hair. I know that we get crowns. So I don't know if we wear those crowns during the millennium, or we wait until, I think it's until you get into the eternity. Everyone will be given a crown of some sort. Flat shoes. Yeah, maybe it was like sandals, things like that. I mainly paid attention when we were in the sanctuary, in the temple area. Didn't really notice after that. But if we do, I mean, it's cool. Let's see. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a really nice weekend. We're going to be on 43, and 44 is such a good chapter. Everything after that. And you'll just get a super, super good idea of what we'll be doing, and just, you know, it's really good. Keep your hope up. When you see all these things transpire and it gets a little rough, just think of that, because that's what waits for you. We won't need, we will all good. We will be all good. I mean, bling for jewelry. I mean, that would be kind of cool to be able to, you know, wear like a gold necklace or something like that. But I really didn't see anything like that. But that doesn't mean that we don't, you know. I mean, I wasn't told write down these dimensions and do that like Ezekiel. I was just, you know, you see this, see that, let's go over here, let's see this. Oh, it's not really meant for like writing in a book and publishing to the world. It's just, I can tell you though. Yeah. Anyway, guys, have you seen anything of Revelation? Yeah, I saw basically all of it summed up. And you'll just have to go back into the Revelation. A lot of it, you know, needs to be and has been decoded and set in with the trumps and vials. And so, yeah. So if you guys start getting, you know, visions and things like that, write it down, write every detail down, and then just, you know, put it with the Bible, see how that goes, you know, because if it's true, it will be there. If it's something personal, which people do have too, you know, you'll probably understand it anyway. Did you make a video of it? Yeah, it was like, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. You gotta have to go down, and I talk about everything that I saw, and there's like 18 or 19 of them out there. But I did them all in consecutive order, so you can go over them. The hardest part was to put them in where they're supposed to be. That's what took the longest. I think it's, you know, like hearing them kind of leaves a mystery to it, because a lot of it was symbolic. Yeah, I saw some of it. What'd you see? Eagle's Wing Ministries. Wait for your response. You know, it is. You guys will probably start seeing visions and things like that. So, you know, when you do, Satan and the 10 Kings, wow. Yeah, it's gonna look pretty weird on that part. Yeah, the skies were all purple, no more blue. When does the latter rain come? Well, we're kind of experiencing now with the 7,000 as they're being taught and sealed and getting ready to go. The actual latter day rain happens when the 7,000 are delivered up and the Holy Spirit speaks through you, and that the Holy Spirit comes in and just covers the earth with the truth. So, but right now, people, as you get taught, it's kind of like a analogy of being taught, right? Like a seed, you first need water, and that as it comes up, it needs water, but a little bit of sun, not too much exposure. So that's like the Word of God, little bits at a time, so you're not going to overwhelm and, kill it. And then as it comes up, it needs, the April showers, and you need the sun, the perfect heat. And then it, as it comes up and blooms and grows, it's the analogy of your spiritual growth. Let's see. And is that for only the 7 and the 144,000? The ceiling is for the 144,000. The ceiling also for the 7,000, but these are um, already chosen. That makes sense. Um, Already destined. The 144,000 are already, but something happened in the first earth age, and they may have went with Satan at that time. I don't know, but they'll be fooled a little bit because they're in these 5 churches out of the 7 that are teaching these traditions of men and just all this false doctrine. They aren't teaching chapter by chapter and verse by verse like you need to. Like you need to hear the word, like you need to be taught that way in order to get the meaning, to be fed. So before everything happens, they'll have a little bit of truth. They'll be able to, but they won't have enough to be able to get all the way through without worshiping the Antichrist. The 7,000 are signed, sealed, and delivered. They're delivered up to preach the truth to the world with the Holy Spirit speaking, and it's basically one of the prophecies that the truth must be preached to all the world before Christ returns. And when that is accomplished, then he can return. So after you see the last of the 7,000 being brought up, it's getting really, really close. But you hear all kinds of other teachings. Yeah, I wanted to learn, but your teachings always make, yeah, I try, I do. I was there, I used to watch TVN and got kind of sucked into that a little bit. I like the music and the good feeling and stuff like that, but it never ever made sense. It was like I was trying to like make sense of that rapture theory, and I'm like, but we're gonna be here. So even if you got into some of that false teaching and stuff, he's gonna pull you out, put you in a place where you're gonna hear the truth, regardless of what you've heard before. It'll just all start sticking, and you'll feel more confident. But yeah, there was peace all over the earth when said yes. The he'll come in first of all as just like the peace giver, but he'll be like causing all these wars and fighting, especially in the Middle East, by Babylon. I mean, in Babylon, around Babylon, on the other side of the Euphrates, and he'll cause all that fighting, and then he comes in after the wound to the beast head, the political system. He comes in and makes the peace treaty. And then he says he's God. And then the gathering, and everybody worships him except for the 7,000. And then the 7,000 are brought up. And you also have the two witnesses who are also there. It's kind of like in Egypt type of thing. Let's see. Oh, I'm glad that you can benefit, Stacy. Pray, Father, for courage. Name of Jesus that will. Yep, everybody, you know, before you even start, just ask God to say, open up your mind, open up your eyes and ears before you open the book, and then just read it and let it just flow over the buds of your mind. Just, you know, even if it doesn't make sense to you, then do your research. You can, you know, go in the Strong's Concordance and check out words. That's why I say that, you know, using the King James Companion Bible by Bollinger is really one of the best, because you can use the Strong's Concordance with that. And there's some things that, you know, are not right in it, but it's pointed out, and it will also give you the words in it on the side with the notes, and then you have the appendix. So it is very, very helpful. There's the bad line. Yeah, see, yeah. Satan is going to say he is Christ. So the lion representing Christ in Judah, one lion bad, but the other was Jesus. Yeah, Mary, that is probably side by side going, there's two Christs coming. Satan saying he is Christ, and then the real one. But the fake Christ comes first. So, and he will be a supernatural being and, you know, doing miracles and stuff. But when you really look at it, he comes in a lot different than what true Christ really comes in at. Stood still, and the other one came to me, and then I saw a bad lion, and he couldn't come. Well, good. Satan can't hurt you. So he can try and kill you spiritually, but that's not going to happen. It says if, but it's not possible. It could not even, if it were possible to fool even the very elect, but it's not possible. And the only thing that you could do to mess things up is not allow the Holy Spirit to speak through you. If you don't do that, you're unforgivable, and you're going to go into the lake of fire. Nothing can help you, because you should know. But you're going to be ready. It's going to be no big deal. You'll be all studied up and ready to go. And it isn't that long of a time period. It's a 5-month period. So even the time of your own personal tribulation, it's only 10 days. So up to 10 days. You could be delivered up and just taken up on the first day to testify. So it's all depends, you know. But it's only up to 10 days, so it's not like forever, like thinking if you were in jail for, you know, a month or two. Yeah, and then when you're done, then you're set free. Let's see, is that like when you hear the small, still voice? Yeah. Or when you get those aha moments, aha, like I had today with that in Ezekiel chapter 8. It's like, ah, based, you know, it just, these little, it's those aha moments. There are more, there's more time to spare, maybe a few years. Yeah. Yeah, I believe we have more time. It could be a couple of years, could be 3, 4 years, but we're doing the right thing. Oh yeah, that warm fuzzy feeling. Peaceful. Peaceful. Yeah, that's what I got when I heard the choir singing. I got this very peaceful feeling. It was just like, wow. I wish we could go now, you know. Oh, when something is confirmed for you. Yeah, it just settles in your mind. You just know. You know that you know that you know. Yeah, let's go now. They're breaking down the UN to build it back up for the new world order system. Yep. So you've got all those, you know, what are the WHO, the World Health, and all those world type things, the Green Deal. I hadn't been in it long. Well, it doesn't matter when you start. It's just that latter-day rain is falling already. So you'll get the right amount at the right time. That's what the Holy Spirit does. As you're being taught, He's going to put in your mind how to understand it, and you'll get it. And then your cravings. You may be someone who just has to hear the word like night and day. Or you may be someone who just wants to hear it, you know, like a half-hour study. It just all depends. Oh, I meant when I touch the Spirit, when I hear that. Yeah. Well, yeah, touch the Spirit. But, you know, as you get in it a little bit more, it's like you feel the spirits and you start feeling the spirits around you, people. You get the discerning spirit that you can tell, you know, just what kind of person they are. It's weird, but it's like, that's how I can tell, like, from the stalkers. It's like, yeah, I know who you are, especially when they're following. I mean, time is short, but we still have time. Yep. So everybody, so glad to be here with people who know the Bible, right? And that inner knowing, right, JD? It's just like that, you know, it's confirmed. You just know that's solid. So, yeah. It's just time. I mean, the churches and stuff, like today, it's very hard to find a church gathering. So that's why I just started this. It's hard to talk to other people who don't know the Bible either. It just, you know, they kind of look at you kind of weird. Like, what are you talking about? Not saying that I'm better than anybody. It's just when you try to have a discussion with somebody just about the millennium, and most people are like, I didn't even know there was a millennium. Let's see. I love this best part of the day. Ah, yeah, I love this part of the day too. You know, people are very, very brainwashed, and that oppressive spirit is so just coming down on people. And I think what Trump is doing, he's raising up America again. And what I had seen is, like, you know, wins and losses. I think he will be reelected. And maybe we have the 4 years with Trump until, you know, so we'll have 4 more years, 2024. Yeah. Some are in the slumber, yeah. It will begin April. Set up UN. Yeah. And just keep watching it. That's what we're supposed to do. Watchmen watch. Oh, it's bad, especially the mask coming back. Yeah. And they don't even do anything. It's more of a compliance thing. I mean, if they were, I could understand, but, you know, well, you know all that. It's just sickening. So, guys, I will see you on Monday, and we're going to go deep, heavy into 43. We might even get into 44. 43 is a pretty big one. Did we do 42? Yeah, we did 42. So it's going to be fun this time around, coming in. Because the dimensions are pretty interesting and stuff, but, you know, it's usually kind of your own study, you know, so you can kind of look and compare. See, continued blessings to you, Christy, and all in chat. Thank you again. And thank you, JD, for coming and being here. And thank you all for being here. And blessings. And I'll be praying for you. And I'll see you again on Monday. Be ready. Chapter 43 and go through 44 too. All right. Talk to you